So the fight was on. Fight was scheduled. Then it got cancelled. A couple of days later, it got rescheduled. First and foremost, Lee, how happy are you to be fighting in April?
Buzzing. I was a bit gutted at the time though, because I went out and had about 15 pints. I ate loads of shit for 3 days straight because I'd been dieting for like 2 months nearly, and I just went out and just like ate everything that I've been wanting to eat. Put loads of weight back on, and 3 days later got another call saying, right, the fight's back on. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, I'm buzzing. It's been nearly a year now since my last fight, so yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, and let's just talk very briefly about your last fight in One Championship, because that was your first win in the promotion. First round knockout. Did that feel any different at all, or was it just another day at the office, another win?
It was good. That was my third fight for One Championship. Yeah. That I'd fought on a week's notice in the weight division above, and then I'd fought with Rodlek 3 months after having knee surgery. So the last fight for One Championship, I was finally in my right weight class. I was fit, I was strong, and I won by a knockout. So that meant a lot. That I fought again 2 months after. Well, 6 weeks after that, I fought again in March. And then the lockdown happened, so yeah. It's been, by the time I fight again, it'll be in 13 months before I've been in ring. So I'm itching just to get back at it.
You seem really happy with that one. You see when you jumped on the rope, you seem like you were little bit of frustration with the first couple of defeats.
Yeah. Well, obviously the first one I just took on a week's notice, just straight against the champion at the weight division above. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. I just thought I'll knock him out, and that clearly didn't happen. So I was just thinking that I was going to jump in there and lay him out. That's my mentality all the time. I believe I punch so hard that if I catch someone right, I will knock them out. Obviously that didn't happen in that fight, but with Rodlek fight, that was a good war, but I made one mistake, took an 8 count, and even though I thought I won the other 2 rounds, there's no draws allowed on One Championship, so I thought I was a bit unlucky with that one. And like I said, that was 3 months after having knee surgery, so I wasn't really as sharp and as fit as I should have been, because most of my camp for that was making sure my knee was back strong, instead of actually working on a game plan. So with that fight, I was fit, I was healthy, I was strong, and it showed. I stopped in the first round.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk a little bit about the fight coming up. So you are fighting Pongsiri. Yeah. Can I ask, how do you view Pongsiri as a matchup, first and foremost? And do you like fighting Thais? That was something I wanted to get at you.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I've been doing it most of my career. I've probably fought about 30 or 40 Thais throughout my career, to be fair, so I'm used to it. Pongsiri's a great fighter, Commonwealth champion currently, former Channel 7 champion, former Lumpini champion, top 10 in WMO, top 10 WBC. So on paper, this is a massive fight against an elite level fighter. Yeah,
definitely. And at this stage of your career, probably the last big stage, if you like, how have you changed your training in any way? Do you maybe spar a bit? Do you do a bit more technical pad work? Are you still sparring hard? How is your training affected?
I still go 100 mile an hour. Probably why I keep fucking injuring myself all the time. I just do everything 100 mile an hour. I've not changed anything. My recovery is obviously a bit different. I'm a bit smarter. I know more about my body than when I was younger, but I don't go any lighter in training or any easier. I still kick the pads hard. I still try and run hard. I do hill sprints still. I still do everything I do now that I did in my 20s. It's got to be a bit smart with my recovery, that's all.
And obviously we're in Four Corners boxing gym now. How much are you working on your boxing? How much do you think that's going to be a factor in this fight or future fights?
When you've got the MMA gloves on, you need to be good with your hands and little angle changes and stuff like that and head movement. You can't just stand there like standard Muay Thai and just like that with them little gloves on, because you'll get your head taken off. So I've just been trying to add that into my game with John. I've always been an hard puncher, but I've not been so much a good boxer, but I believe I've got that into my style now, that I can punch hard and box well and move my feet well all together all at the same time. Yeah,
get it all together in your style, Now, as we mentioned, you're now 35, you're 8-time world Muay Thai champion. At this point in your career, what do you feel like you've got left to accomplish? What else is on your on the Hitman's hit list?
I want to win the One Championship title. That's what I want to do. I just want to keep. I'm a fighter. I don't want to hang up the gloves anytime soon. I'm still involved in some of the most exciting fights that anyone watches out there. Do you know what I mean? So until that's stopped, and until I view myself as an entertainer, until I'm not entertaining people anymore, and people are saying, "What's he doing? We don't want to see this anymore." As long as I'm still giving value for money, as long as people still want to watch me fight, which I think they do, I'm still going to do that, and I'm still going to give people some money's worth, and I'm still just going to throw my body on the line and do everything I can just to make an entertaining fight for people.
Is there a fight left that you perhaps haven't had in your career that you desire?
I'd like to win this fight, and then maybe I could fight for Nongo against the title. Nongo's that I fought all the greats, Sanchai, Singdam, Sagadao. I can reel them off all day. I know I've fought them all, but I never fought Nongo, and he's the champion at this weight. So who knows? You know what I mean? another big knockout here against Pongsiri, and you never know, he might propel me into the line for a title shot, which would be nice.
Yeah, superb. Now I've got one final question, but this isn't really fighting related. Okay, you run a very successful podcast, Kicking It with Liam Harrison. I'm going to give you 3 category of people, and I just want you to say the first name that comes to mind that you'd like to have on your show. Okay, first and foremost, an active fighter.
Any active fighter.
Any active fighter.
Do you know what? There's so many. I really don't think about the guests I'm getting on. I've got someone who runs the podcast for me, you see, and he just says, "Why don't we get him on?" or "When do we get him on?" There's so many good active fighters. I like Jonathan Aggett to come on because he's such a. At the minute, he's a phenom, isn't he? And everyone loves him. And I've been fucking asking him for ages as well. I'd like Jonathan.
I'd like Jonathan.
I'd like him to come on because, he's not shy of saying how he thinks and stuff like that. So he'd be a good one to have on. And everyone loves him at the minute, and he's the one who's like propelled into superstardom. So he'd be nice to have on.
We'll go with Haggerty.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, good pick. Second one, a retired fighter.
I don't know. Boxing, MMA, or anything.
Just anything. Just as long as they've stepped in a cage or ring.
I honestly, I couldn't tell you just straight off the top of the bat. Honestly, I don't think about who I'm getting on. My mate who runs it for me says, "Why don't we ask Thingy?" And I ask him, and they usually say yeah or no. I'll have to come back to you on that one.
Okay. One final one, and just the first person to come to your mind. Somebody who doesn't have anything to do with fighting. A singer, an actor, musician, anything.
Again, I can't think off the top of my head about stuff like this. Would be good. The Rock or someone like that would be here. Just sit down and chat with him about fucking his life. That'd be decent. Someone ridiculous like that.
Yeah, that sounds ideal. That me, yourself, Jonathan Haggerty, and the Rock. That would be a good conversation. I'd be like to be there to watch that one. Superb. Liam, it's been an honour to meet you. It's been an honour to watch you train, and it's been an honour to interview today. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Before we finish, how can people find you on social media and some of the projects you're involved with?
Liam Badcore on Instagram. My YouTube channel's Liam Harrison Training. I think my website Liam Harrison Training, and